Okay, let's unpack this Fight Club, the 1999 film, right? Based on the 96 novel.
Yeah. And it still throws a pretty hard punch, culturally speaking.
It really does. That whole feeling of disillusionment,
Definitely. And the questions about toxic masculinity, consumerism.
being trapped by stuff and just wanting to, like, break free violently almost.
Those ideas just stick around. You've got the narrator, this kind of blank slate guy,
And then Tyler Durden, magnetic, but wow, destructive.
that iconic duo. And the club itself, starting as fights, but then Project Mayhem.
Exploding into something much bigger. And yeah, the first rule, everyone knows the first rule.
It's amazing how that lodged itself in, the collective mind.
You do not talk about Fight Club.
Exactly.
Right.
It became shorthand for anything kind of underground, outside the norm.
Right. And that's really what we're digging into today, isn't it?
Yeah. Here in 2025, with everything so out there, does that spirit of Fight Club still exist?
Like, as a secret society, that longing for something real.
Or has it just had to change?
Yeah.
Adapt to this world where everything's online all the time.
Mm-hmm. That's the dive. Looking at the sources, we really want to get into that tension.
Is there still that hidden rebellion bubbling under the surface somewhere?
We'll look at why the secrecy was so key in the film.
Yeah, and then the evidence. Have real-world fight clubs actually popped up?
And, yeah, the big one, the digital age. How does anything stay secret now?
So are they still hidden? Or have they become something else? Maybe something more public?
Less shadowy, yeah. Maybe surprisingly out in the open.
Well, think about the film's trigger. The narrator, he's
Hmm.
just adrift.
Defined by his IKEA catalog.
Totally. And Fight Club, with the hitting and the silence, it's this radical way to shed all that.
Trying to feel something real, something physical.
And it's in that secrecy, that shared rule-breaking, he finds this kind of twisted meaning.
Makes you think about why people are drawn to stuff that's off limits, not advertised.
Definitely. And just the appeal of secret societies generally, right?
Oh, yeah. That feeling of being in on something. Exclusivity.
Shared purpose, hidden knowledge.
Something a bit dangerous, maybe. Forbidden.
Fight Club cranked that way up.
Yeah.
Especially for men feeling, I don't know, kind of lost or emasculated.
In a world becoming more service-based, less hands-on.
It was this really physical pushback against, well, conformity, or expressed through, let's be honest, a lot of violence.
Yeah, intense violence.
But you got to remember the timing. Late 90s, big shift, consumer culture booming.
Created a disconnect for some people. A feeling something was missing.
The film definitely hit that nerve. So the idea of these secret places to just fight, it resonated.
Shed the suit and tie, yeah.
But the big question is, did the movie just reflect that feeling, or did it actually cause people to start their own clubs?
Did fiction inspire reality?
Exactly.
Sure.
It's a tough line to draw.
I mean, underground fights weren't invented in 96.
No, definitely not.
But the film undeniably shone a huge spotlight on it, gave it a name, an image.
And our sources have some really interesting examples of what came after.
Like that NBC News report. 2006.
Yeah, the Gentlemen's Fighting Club in Silicon Valley.
Tech guys. Inspired by the movie, apparently punching each other in a garage.
The irony, right? High-tech day jobs, primal release at night, explicitly linked to the film.
And it wasn't just fighting, it was Fight Club style fighting.
Then you jump to 2015, the Daily Mail photos from New York City.
Oh, I remember seeing those. Really raw images of unsanctioned fights.
And the visual comparisons to Fight Club were immediate. It's like the film gave people a visual script for it.
A reference point for something maybe already simmering.
Exactly. And then, more recently, 2023, Vice reported on King of the Ring in the UK.
Okay, now this one's different, right? It's kind of underground, but
it has millions of YouTube views.
Millions. And their stated goal is apparently to reduce street violence.
It's this weird mix, underground vibe, very public platform, almost a social mission.
So does putting it on YouTube mean it's not secret anymore, or is it a new kind of secret?
That tension between secret and visible is really key here.
And it keeps popping up. That other 2023 Daily Mail piece, the No Rules Club in Stockton-on-Tees.
Yeah, that one sounded brutal. Biting, eye gouging.
Nasty stuff. But it's blowing up on TikTok.
Right, gaining viewers like crazy. It feels like the total opposite of the first rule.
Like, the first rule of Fight Club is tell everyone on TikTok.
Pretty much. And then you've got groups like Street Beefs and Backyard Squabbles.
Which feel different again. Less like secret rebellions.
More like communities, almost.
Right.
Built around fighting, sure, but...
Street Beefs trying to settle arguments with gloves on, non-lethally.
And Backyard Squabbles in L.A., started during the pandemic, had vendors, barbers, a whole scene.
Felt more like a block party almost than a secret society.
So has the motivation shifted from pure rebellion to maybe just finding your people.
Blending a tribe, yeah.
When you look at all these examples, the variety is huge.
From groups trying hard to stay hidden.
Others basically broadcasting themselves.
Which forces you back to that question. Can you be a secret society if you're on YouTube?
Does secret even mean the same thing now in the digital age?
It makes you completely rethink it. I mean, 99, the internet was different.
Totally different. No constant stream of everyone sharing everything.
Now, 2025, social media is everywhere. Everyone's got an HD camera in their pocket.
And a global audience potential. How do you possibly keep something hidden?
It seems incredibly hard.
Yeah. Look at King of the Ring's YouTube numbers, or that Stockton Club on TikTok.
That kind of visibility just destroys secrecy, doesn't it?
So for a real Fight Club group today, to stay truly secret, the security would have to be intense.
Like seriously, next level, encrypted messages only.
Meticulously erasing digital footprints. Recruitment purely through deep personal trust.
Super selective, no online applications, presumably.
Absolutely not. But even then, the risk of getting exposed feels huge.
Oh yeah, someone inside could flip, right? Grail.
Or just carelessness. A lost phone, someone overhears something.
Hacking is always a possibility too.
And remember that Quora post from 2020 saying real underground circuits are rare because it's so hard to stay hidden.
Plus, you've got the authorities watching.
External pressure. Law enforcement, regulatory bodies like the New York State Athletic Commission.
They want to control combat sports.
And we've seen it happen, those teen fight clubs in Jersey and Pennsylvania, shut down because videos got online.
The digital trail leads right to them.
It makes sustaining truly secret illegal stuff way, way harder.
So it's this constant battle, huh? The appeal of secrecy.
That feeling of being part of something hidden, special.
Smashing right into the reality of a world where everything can be recorded and shared instantly.
Makes you wonder if the whole idea of underground has fundamentally changed.
Yeah. But what's really interesting is how some of these groups are evolving.
Right. Instead of digging deeper into the shadows, they seem to be becoming more like social clubs, communities.
It's a big shift from the movies vibe. That rebellion, that secrecy.
Suggests maybe they're meeting different needs now.
Totally. Look at street beefs again. Started as settling beefs, literally.
But grew into this thing with camaraderie, personal growth even.
Regulated fights, gloves on, using Facebook to organize, showing fighters as just regular people.
It's way less about anarchy, more about community conflict resolution. A weird version of it.
Yeah, a very specific version.
And King of the Ring, even with its underground feel, has that social mission against youth violence.
Their events aren't just fights, food, music, moments of silence.
Creates a whole community feel around the fighting.
And backyard squabbles in LA, born in lockdown, attracting athletes, locals.
With vendors, a barber. Sounds more like a niche festival than a secret fight ring.
It just turns that Fight Club rebellion narrative on its head.
The reasons people join seem broader now.
Not just smashing the system, maybe it's stress relief.
An athletic challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Or just finding connection, belonging.
In an unconventional way, yeah. Maybe the need for connection is winning out over the need for secrecy.
Well, connecting back to sociology, remember Michael Kimmel's point from '06?
About these clubs helping men feel something real.
Exactly. In a world that feels abstract, maybe mediated, the raw physical experience, it connects you.
Provides something tangible, something the digital world maybe doesn't always deliver.
Yeah. And think about that HuffPost story from 2023.
The street beefs guy finding purpose in the ring.
Yeah. Not some anti-establishment rebel, just a regular person looking for meaning.
It really makes you think. Maybe the real legacy of Fight Club isn't secret rebellion.
But these open, intense communities built around this shared physical thing.
Which makes you ask, what is rebellion in 2025?
Because the reasons Fight Club resonated are still around.
Yeah.
Fincher's quote about turning hunters into shoppers.
That feeling of modern life being wrong somehow, still there.
Economic stress, job worries, social media pressure, that hasn't gone away.
No, definitely still feeling that stuff. But here's the weird part, the paradox.
What's that?
These groups, inspired by a movie railing against consumerism and norms, they're often chasing views and likes on the very platforms that are those norms.
Right. Playing the social media game.
Seeking validation online. Doesn't that kind of dilute the whole rebellion thing? Conforming to the attention economy.
That's a really sharp point. Maybe rebellion itself is changing.
Less about dropping out completely.
More about carving out your niche within the system, finding your tribe online.
Like King of the Rings' positive message is that co-opting the rebellion, making it safer?
Making it more palatable, perhaps? But then you still have the extremes.
Right. The Stockton No Rules Club, that FCT club in Thailand?
They seem to be holding on to a much harder, more defiant edge.
Not softening anything, maybe even pushing it further. So there's still a spectrum.
Which brings us back to secrecy. Let's imagine a group today, Shadow Ring, trying to be really like the movie.
How would they even operate?
Okay, drawing on what we've seen. Recruitment would be paranoid, word of mouth only.
Encrypted chat, locations dropped last minute.
Strict NDAs, absolutely no cameras, instant kick out if you break the rule, building digital walls.
But the weak points are everywhere. Someone always breaks the rules, right? Secret recordings happen, like with the teen clubs.
Or an ex-member leaks info to the cops, the press.
Law enforcement infiltration is a real threat, too.
And then there's just the cultural obsession with Fight Club. That Channel 4 documentary actively hunted these clubs down.
The legend invites exposure. To stay secret, you have to reject the very thing that makes people curious.
So, the future, what does it look like? Seems like two roads.
Yeah, I think so. A small number might try to cling to that extreme secrecy, that hardcore rebellion, driven by alienation.
But facing a massive uphill battle against tech, against exposure.
Well, the majority, the more likely path, seems to be evolving into visible social clubs.
Like street beefs, backyard squabbles, prioritizing community, connection.
Attracting different kinds of people. Less about hiding, more about the shared activity itself.
But if they go that route, become more open, more community-focused.
Does the radical edge get lost?
Exactly. Does it lose what made Fight Club feel so dangerous, so subversive?
It's a trade-off. Sustainability versus that initial raw intent. Maybe rebellion just looks different now.
So, back to the core question. Is Fight Club a secret society in 2025? The answer's messy.
It's complicated, yeah. Pockets might exist in the shadows, sure.
But the main trend seems to be towards visibility, community.
The ethos might still be there, wanting something more real than just this.
Than just shopping and scrolling.
But the methods have changed. Connection seems more important than secrecy now.
Which is fascinating because the film's critique, it still hits hard.
Oh, yeah. Wanting more than being just a consumer, more than your job title. That feeling hasn't aged.
Even if the actual Fight Clubs look way different now.
Absolutely. So for you listening, what do you think?
Yeah, what are your thoughts? Have you heard whispers of real clubs?
Is it mostly myth now, or is there still a reality to it in 2025?
Something to chew on.
Definitely. And thanks, as always, for taking this deep dive with us.
Join us next time when we explore another corner of this weird, wild world.